Alright, doing some more rigging, trying to finish up. Got the Milwaukee tools out here. Got the fan saving the day, the 12-volt tire light, rivet guns handy. There's Mama Dog. What you doing, Mama? Trying to stay cool too. We'll go back in here in a minute. There's Poncho. But I decided I didn't want to cut out this whole front hatch, so I initially drilled a 4 1/8 inch hole based off of measurements from Amazon. Turns out it was a 4 1/2 inch hole. I think their measurement was the inside diameter, which is believable. So trimmed that out, got that where it's a snug fit down in there. Gonna take and put a thin bead of some marine silicone down, more or less, just to help hold it in place. If any water did splash up in there, it hopefully don't make it all the way down into the hole. Don't mind the mess, but I'll show you the rocker switch and stuff that's installed. Try to get out of my light here, but got camera stuff thrown in here. But there's rocker switch. I've got the blue courtesy lights, the navigation lights. This is a USB-C and regular USB port for charging, and then if I can get it pulled out of here, just a cigarette, 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, run light or charger or whatever. And then I hard mounted my 2-wire connection. So this is a little janky, but 12-volt adapter, Chinese 6 amp-hour Milwaukee batteries. They're actually holding up pretty good so far, but I can plug that in, and it's got a built-in fuse and an on-off switch. Turn it off, my rocker lights light up. I can turn my blue lights off and on, and then like I said, that's my navigation. That one I don't have going to nothing yet, not sure, may add something later, so I went ahead and got the one with the extra switch. I can turn it off here, leave this in here while I'm floating, or if I'm not going to need power for anything, I can cover that up, take all this extra out of here. But the main objective, and really the last thing I've got to do, is get this mounted in here. I done that to make it easier pulling wires, and still wanted a little bit of access to the hole. I can put a little bag in here, or throw small things in there that I don't need all the time. But the main thing was not wanting to cut this whole thing out, so I can put this cover in here and then be able to throw batteries or rod holders or whatever up there out of the way. I've got a bigger battery that I can set down in here, and I'm going to do the same type of plug. So I've got a fusible link and then eyelets that'll go onto the battery, and then that'll plug into there and feed me power. It's like I think it's a 30 amp-hour battery, but anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm one-handing it, no phone holder, so bear with me. I'm gonna pull this up, put some silicone down, and then we'll try to get some more of our Yak Attack trifold rivets in there. So they split and fold up 3 ways, and actually gives it a good tight seal. This is actually like a little bit of an aluminum housing itself, so it's really stout. That's why they done it. It's not just some real cheap aluminum and/or plastic that I pull out and break. When I use them to mount my lights, that seemed to hold really good. So, but I'm gonna get some silicone down here, get that sealed, and I'll bring you back. All right, got a little dab of dew all the way around the side. Get Get that lined up in there, and then try to line that up more or less for my OCD-ness. Get that. Then I've got 3/16 drill bit. Get it poked, and then I'm actually gonna get my rivet poked down in there. Make sure everything's pushed up tight. And they actually fit down in that grooved hole pretty nicely. Then I can grab my handy dandy 12-volt rivet gun. This first one I'm going to attempt to balance the camera and hold tight, but get it in there. And then, sorry for the camera work here. It's after work, hot, sweaty. But that's what it'll look like. So I'm going to go ahead and get these others knocked out, and I'll bring you back. Alright, well, that's in there, all nice and neat like. Now, we put our rod holders or whatever we need up there, up out of the way. That's the pull strap for the front. Crescent done, I've used it. Pretty freaking handy. But I've still, let me get some of this stuff out of here. Make it a little easier to see down in here. I've got camera stuff, batteries, and scupper plugs, and straps. But still got both my rod tubes and factory molds for the rod seats. I went ahead and left everything so I can still do these. I may end up ordering another one of these little accesses, maybe the 3-inch one. This is a 4-inch one, and putting it right here to have a little bigger hole so I can slide some spinning rods down in, because my eyelets on the spinning rods just ain't quite big enough to go in there. But done that. I added a couple of the short yak attack tracks here. Used the riv nuts. My dad had some extra after rigging his kayak. Put there so when this front hatch is down, I've got a spot that I can mount from and or run anchor. So I'd picked up some of these Yak Attack 2-pack tie downs. I've got one here on each side, and I can clip my anchor or rod leash, paddle leash, tackle box, dry bag that I put my truck keys and phone in, whatever, you name it. But picked up some more of them that I can put here. Strap a dry bag down on the front if we're going out a longer trip, and or running an anchor and letting it go out to the bow. But coming soon from Midwest Kayaks in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, I've got an anchor wizard coming, and it's going to mount over there. I'm not sure if I want to put it in the cup holder spot that's kind of designed around, or order the plate that goes into my handle. But the cool thing about the Shoalies is they're pre-rigged, ready to go. So mount it here, and it's got these little half moon D-rings coming all the way down here, and then the stern of the Shoalie is pre-slotted for an anchor. So my anchor wizard can mount up there, run the rope back, and I'm probably going to do the like 1 foot sections of 3/8 log chain as an anchor for now. Eventually I'm going to get the cannonball anchor, kayak anchor, but I think for most of the rivers and just calm bays in the lakes, the chain do what I need based off of what I've seen. Don't know, but we're going to try it. But a little afternoon rigging. Hopefully y'all don't mind the huffing and puffing. It's been a crisp 100 in the shade all week so far. And said I think 7 p.m. Friday it's supposed to be cooling off, in quotations. But we're planning a trip this Saturday, so I wanted to get this buttoned up. So pretty well is done, other than the Anchor Wizard, and it shipped out today and supposed to be here this weekend. So I won't have it for this weekend's trip, but I can work on getting it put in, and then I'll have it for our next float trip. But for now, that's my plan. Eventually upgrade maybe to the Yak Attack Black Pack. Not for sure. I'm really a fan of the multiple mounting positions on their rod tubes and their rod tubes with the leashes, but I'm not sponsored, so funding this on my own, taken away from Mama Loaf here. Thank you for your support. Yeah, won't be long, we'll be out on the water. Thank you all for watching this part-time adventure, after work vibes, doing a little bit more rigging.